Hello YouTube fans, Madrant here, and welcome to some duels with Metalphosis Majespecter. It's really hard to film for this deck because you don't let your opponent actually play the game very effectively, mainly because you're running a lot of counter traps since you're using Ariadne, and Unicorn can really just mess up your opponent's plays. So it's quite hard to film for this, but I've got some replays to show you guys for today, and I'm going to have a deck profile up for this tomorrow. So I hope you enjoy. This first duel is against Atlantini Bricked, which is not very good, but I really did predict this was going to be a Solemn, and I was lucky and right, and then I shuffle back my Metalphosis Fusion. That's why I run Twin Twister in the deck. So I started setting up my Metalphosis after reveal. My counter trap, since I already drew 2, well, I drew 1, but I revealed Chaos Trap-All anyway, and yeah, he gave me it because it doesn't affect him at all. He had Twin Twisters, hits my Solemn Strike back and use my Metalphosis counter, summon out my Volflame. Then he Dark Holes and gives me another Chaos Trap-All. I take 1400 and then he gets a special summon his Depth Abyss. He starts to go off slightly, not fully though. Heavy Infantry destroys the Steel Ran, and that's about it. I use Combination, destroy that, sets the Fusion, Combination searches out my Gold Driver destroys the Gold Driver, and then I can banish my Metalphosis counter from my graveyard to add the scale back to the hand, and then Pendulum Summon again, which is quite nice at least, and it kind of ends the duel here because he doesn't want to play on after I summon Abyss Dweller, because he doesn't actually realise what Abyss Dweller's effect is. He goes for Depth Abyss and sends Heavy Infantry, which is doing nothing. He had Marksman, that wasn't going to do anything, but since he didn't have any monsters in hand to actually use with it, he was completely dead in there. I had a back row of Twin Twisters, which was going to be useless. Metalphosis Fusion, which was alright. I could have Fusion summoned next turn probably, and I had Metalphosis counter, so when I destroy something with my Gold Driver or my Steel Ran, I would have been able to special summon Metalphosis on from my deck. His next card was Instant Fusion, which would have been good because he already has a Dragoons in the graveyard, so he could have done something with that. My next top deck was Majespecter Unicorn. That would have killed him indeed. On to the next duel. The second duel is against some kind of Ignite Destiny Hero crossover. So I open it with Luster Pendulum, which is always great. He does a lot for this deck, Luster Pendulum, if you open up with him. You can set up quite nicely and bring out something you don't usually bring out. So I set my scales and I've popped loads of things. I Metalphosis Fusion to bring out Ori Hulk, and then I use Fusion to draw one card, then Fusion for Dinosaur, overlay for Titanic Galaxy, and set 2 back row. Well, 1 back row. He goes for Destiny Draw. I don't know what he's exactly playing at this point, but I have to negate it because drawing 2 cards is dangerous. It turns out he doesn't have Black Rose in his extra deck, so he had to go for Meteor Burst, which is not good, and then he goes for Malice, and then I just Chaos Trap-All his Telemium 7. I'm using Chaos Trap-All because it's great against the meta at the moment, plus there's a counter trap set which can be searched. So I use Steel Ran to destroy and add Fusion to the board. That adds a combination to my hand, and then I Pendulum Summon for 4 monsters. Metalphosis Fusion, bring out Ori Hulk. Ori Hulk gives me Instant Fusion. I summon the one and only Thousand Eye Restrict. I couldn't have gone for the game at this point, so I might as well bring this guy out and see what I can do. So I just absorb his monster, but I've already used my pops with Steel Ran and Silverbird, so I can destroy it myself and go for some damage. He says it's 5s on 8,000, but just this top, just nothing needed. He had no more plays. If he had activated one of his Ignite Paladins, he would have lost it to Titanic Galaxy, and then he would have to set a monster. He wouldn't have survived because Silverbird would have just, well, replaced Gold Driver in that damage sequence. And then he had Foolish Burial, which is the next card, and mine was Bumbuku, which would have been even more dangerous, I should say. On to the next duel. The third duel is against Blackwings, which is not very competitive, but it's Blackwings. You always see these around. I haven't opened up very well, so I had to basically set and pass and hoped for good things. And he starts with Black Whirlwind. I don't do it here because I've got Solemn Strike already in the back row. I can kill a synchro that you can create. And then I use my counter to summon out Volflame when Ariadne is destroyed to stop more damage being taken. Gale weakens this attack, and then I Twin Twister here to get rid of the back row. I knew there would be back row, so I discard Metalphosis Fusion, which is going to give me a draw, which is always good. Silverbird pops to that, sets a combination. Then I've got counter to add back my other part of the scale. Silverbird destroy that, adds add a fusion back onto the board, and then Pendulum Summon 2 Ariadnes as Silverbird. Castell, get rid of the Black Whirlwind, and then I don't do any attacks because he's got Glute in hand already. Then he goes for Blizzard and Mind Control, goes for the fun, Solemn Strike, and unfortunately due to his extra deck, he didn't actually have another level 6 Synchro, so a poor choice on his part to not have another Nafong, and he can Solemn Strike, and he can summon something any stronger, I should say. Solemn Strike would have stopped it anyway if he had a Synchro summoned. But I have more or less complete control at this point. Metalphosis Fusion gave me a draw, Chaos Trap Ball, that's overkill at this point. Pendulum Summon for mass amounts. Aura Hook, in case he wants to collude there, I can destroy his monster anyway. Then he goes for the Skalute, I just Solemn Strike since I'm going for game now, and boom, 200 more than game. Very nice. And I had Metalphosis Fusion and Combination Set still, which are not going to do much. Chaos Trap Ball would have done a lot. My next card was Steel Ren, and his next card was Chris, which wasn't going to help him. On to Duel 4. So by now, I'm guessing you guys have realised that this deck is more or less to basically shut down my opponent's deck with the Ariadne engine, and it just stops a lot of things. This is a great example of that, which with Zhao 2. So I start popping things like I usually do in my Metalphosis and some of the Gold Driver and set a dead Twin Twister so I don't get Twin Twisted too badly. And he hits the Twin Twisters and the counter. This is where it screws it up because Solemn Warning screws up Jiaotu. Since it wasn't in control, you could use neither effect, and I have gained control of the board. If I hadn't set Twin Twister, I would have lost Solemn Warning and probably lost the duel. I go for popping again, summon Ball Flame, Gold Driver, Ball Flame, and Gold Driver attack directly. Then I use Steel Red to destroy my Gold Driver, well, Silverbird, and set another combination. I've got both of those down, and I love these trap cards. He top decks Yang Xing and gets to use his combos, which is not good for me. But Supply Squad activating, Creation activating, Yang activating, summoning Chiwin, and then drawing one card, which is Steel Red, which is not too good because he doesn't have anything to Pendulum Summon. He goes for Herald, which can't destroy Bal, which is annoying. I tried to bait out some of his negation, but he isn't going for it. He isn't going for it at all. But he more or less knows he's got this game now. 3,700 life points. Not going to be enough. So I go for Metalphosis Fusion. Metalphosis Fusion, draw one card, banish that to add one Gold Driver, and then Ariel beat down 600 damage, and then they keep doing piercing damage, so it affects all of my Metalphosis, which is very powerful. His next top deck was Dark Hole. Would have been very dangerous. He would have not lost. He wouldn't have lost much of anything. He wouldn't have that on the board. I would have lost all of four of my monsters, so I'd use Orihulk's effect to probably pop his scale, since I don't know he has Steel Red in hand. My next draw was Bumbuku. I already had a Bumbuku on the hand, so I didn't need it, which was alright. I could have gone for Break Sword with him after I used them. So that was fair. On to the next duel. Our next duel is against Raid Raptors. Really mean to this guy, to be honest, because literally my setup is nightmarish for something that's based on combos. So I've got 3 Solemns already in hand, which I set all of them. I haven't got a scale I like, but I've got all my setup. So he goes for the Tribute Lanius. I'm fine with this. I want to hit the 4 strikes and nothing else. So Tribute Lanius adding Doom Double Force, Solemn Strike, 1 4 strikes gone, plus the add to hand. And then he discards Forbidden Lands for some reason, I don't know why. He didn't say it, but combination, going for the counter, combination add my Volflame, I can do stuff next turn, because I can pop this next turn. Then Bumbuku and Avenge, Vulture drops, and then he drops a Booster Strix to protect his Vulture, which is not good for me. He goes for Fuzzy Lanius, goes for 4 Strix, he knows it's going to get negated, so Solemn Strike. And Fuzzy to the hand, nothing else. Readiness and Gust are on the board. I go for Painful Decision, search out my things, Silverbird popping my Raccoon and Scale, Metalphosis counter going off, summoning up Volflame. Volflame is going to destroy my other Scale, and then Gold Driver is going to be put in the Scale. Pendulum Shoken, bring up all these monsters, and then Readiness comes out. Search out Unicorn, summon my Unicorn, bait out the readiness, no more damage. Metalphosis Fusion goes off and I draw one card, Silverbird in hand. And then he top decks Sharp Lannis, which he really needed. He really wasn't happy when I did that. And Sharp Lannis banished. He has no way of stopping me next turn since Raptor's Gust is gone and he didn't control the Raider Raptor while he was on the board, while it was during summon. His next card was Skip Force, which would have been brilliant because he would have gone for Lastrix and to Ultimate Falcon and Lastrix into Satellite Cannon, then Skip Force, but I would have negated the summon of Lastrix because I know that's coming. It's a solemn warning. He really wasn't going to play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Ariadne top deck, which was kind of more or less dead. So yeah, that's so mean to Raid Raptors. They need their original summon. And I can't wait to play Raid Raptors actually with Cattle Calling, because it just turns any of your Raid Raptors into a Lastrix. Plus Skip Force is very, very good indeed. On to the next duel. Yeah, there's a lot of these duels to be fair, because I've been trying to get some material for the last couple of days now, and it wasn't really working for me, because all the duels ending up quick or rage quits. And that's just not good for me. It's a shame. Whenever you use Ariadne, I'm always going to have this issue. So he starts out with Twin Twister. I don't know what he's playing. I use counter because cards have been destroyed. Then he Regekis, I get a Chaos Trapple. He goes for UAs and reveals it is, summoning out Dreadnought, 3k beat stick, does damage, destroys Gold Driver, and then I draw. I've got Painful Decision. It's not really that applicable because I could also add my counter to my hand, so I didn't need it at that point. So I start popping everything, well, popping one thing. Full Flame, Gold Driver, and Steel Ren and Ariadne drop on the board. Castell to shuffle that back, and then Metalphosis Fusion to Orihulk. Combination actually activates because I fusion summoned while I was face up on the field to reborn my Gold Driver that I went to the graveyard through the effect of Painful Decision, which is great. I do sometimes get that fusion effect off, which is really nice, although it's only a 2 in the deck, so it doesn't go off that much. I had Chaos Trapple, which was completely dead, waiting for a Twin Twister to get rid of it, and I was going to top deck Ariadne. He was going to top deck another UA Stadium, which wouldn't be too bad because he already had a noticeable monster and the UA Stadium to search out any of his UA monsters. But he wasn't surviving that onslaught that I can put out. On to the next duel. The final few duels will be against pendulums in general, to be fair. So I opened up with more or less a brick. Not very good for me. This is not the most ideal Draco-Pal Majespecter crossover, to be fair, and he does kind of misplay here. Doesn't add anything before Pal Good Scale. Doesn't add Skullcrow by Joker for some reason. And yeah, I can't really do much with this, but I can Steel Ren, get combination, and search for Volflame, and use counter to bring forth a Volflame as well. So I have some beat stick there. Silverbird destroy this, set another counter, and then I pendulum summon for 2 Volflame, and he summon strikes, like everyone does. It's really not nice. He summons King Bear, don't want to summon more than this, there's no point. 2400 beat stick. That's it, World 22. I chop deck Painful Decision, get my Gold Driver, combination Silverbird, destroying that, setting a fusion, combination and counter, chaining, summon out my 3rd Volflame, and adding a Gold Driver, fusion, summon out Orihulk, does this, adds the hand, Pendulum, Shoken, my 3 of my monsters, and then another Solemn Strike, which is really mean. Orihulk being fused with destroys this scale, and I have now got control of the board with Orihulk and Solemn Warning. He finally gets his scale, and Pendulum summons 5 monsters, I believe. No, 4 monsters, and then I just flip Solemn Warning, which is not fun for him, obviously. I top deck Bumboku, and I have Metalphosis Fusion, Solemn Strike to hand, then Pendulum summon out Unicorn, and there's GG there. Odd Eyes Fusion, not doing anything else. So on to the next duels, which will be 2 Magician duels. That's the wrong one, wrong pause button. And the second to last duel is against an Odd Eyes Magician deck. So he's trying to bring back the Apex Avian. He has Gravity in hand. I don't know why you're running Gravity, because it's not very good, even with Advanced Ritual at 3. So I've set up alright. I've got 2 Solemns in hand, which is really nice. I use Unicorn scale, so I've got a big Bumbuku that can beat down for 1200, and then I set all my face downs. He draws Max C, because you draw it, don't you? Everyone draws it. Steel Ren, destroy Bumbuku, he drops the Max C, setting the counter. Then I'm able to Pendulum summon out Bumbuku. Bumbuku search Unicorn, Tribute Shoken, and attack for 2k, which is alright. Then he top decks his Oath Dragon and Wisdom Eye combo to bring out Dragon Pit, Pendulum Shoken, Wisdom Eye, and Odd Eyes and Apex, but not both Apex in case of Solemn Strike, and I did have the Solemn Strike. Then I go for my Ariadne, Steel Red, destroy Ariadne, set Fusion, and Ariadne chaining onto both of my counters to summon out 2 more Volflame. At this point, it's completely game. There is no point in continuing. I had combination face down, Solemn Warning, and a Metalphosis Fusion with 2 instant fusions, so I could have done a hell of a lot and more or less done an OTK at that point. I had Silver as a top deck, and his top deck was an Odd Eyes Fusion. If he had survived the turn, that would have been a decent top deck, but it wouldn't out Unicorn, which can bait out Negation. Onto the final duel. And the final duel is against another Odd Eyes Magician variant. So I pay full decision, go for Bumbuku, search out Unicorn, Steel Ren, Ariadne, Pendulum Shoken for Unicorn, Steel Ren, destroy Ariadne to set my Metalphosis counter, and then set all the rest of my face downs, because I'm confident that I can get my other part of the scale next turn. He goes for Wisdom Eye and starts doing the Wisdom Eye beast with Sky Iris. Wisdom Eye again, destroying my back row, which was combination, I don't know why. He goes, I bait out the Odd Eyes Vortex Negation, which is fine because these can't be destroyed by card effects. And then he Pendulum summons Wisdom Eye, not to invoke a Solemn Strike. I flip my counter, summon out a Volflame. I'm in full control now. I drew my instant fusion and I summon out the Thousand Eye Restrict. That absorbs his vortex, and then I do what I should do with it. Steel Ren to pop Thousand Eye Restrict so it doesn't have any restriction. A nice 2+ from that. So then I can bounce back his Wisdom Eye and go for an OTK. I believe, yeah, OTK definitely, because I can Tribute Shoken that, and then boom, 8,100 damage. And the back row, 1 was live, Metalphosis Fusion wasn't going to be used that turn, counter would be live on my opponent's turn, combination, those 2 would go well with that, and his top deck was Yankee Magician, which really wouldn't do anything because Solemn Strike was there. My top deck was an instant fusion. I already used my Thousand Eye Restrict, so I would have summoned Adamante, and I would have fused with it to bring out Hulk. That's about it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe if you judged and want to see further content. Please leave a comment below with suggestions for my decks or suggestions for my channel in general. If you want to see a deck update for the April ban list, please leave them down below in the comments. If you want to see when I'm streaming, please check the Facebook link in the description below. And yeah, the deck profile for this will be up tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Matt Durant signing out.